What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ross the Boss coming at you with an all-new Let's Play Europa Universalis 4. We are continuing our conquest of Africa, and unfortunately enough, we have been hit in the face, and we have fallen down. But, you know, I am happy with the amount of gains that we're making. We are beginning our annexation of Telemankin here, though they are the wrong religion. We did go ahead and we began, we went into our vassals map mode here, or at least our subjects. We forced Aragon to change religions to Protestantism, so of course that will make their annexation much easier. And where else do we stand? We have the ability to make Guinea and Cape Verde into states, and I don't believe I will. And of course, a lot of people hate me. A lot of my subjects hate me. That is because, you know, we enforced religion in Portugal. England here, siphon their income. There's really not much we can do. Now, as soon as I can, I would like to begin my annexation of Portugal. It's just this very tiny island, and it looks like they have a, you know, the possibility of colonizing a small country. But, you know, really, I'm losing one diplomatic relations slot, you know, every single month. And, you know, I would have annexed them a lot sooner, but unfortunately they did have some zealots from their religion changing them back. I did force them to change their religion to Protestantism, but, you know, I was obviously pushed down and punched in the face. There wasn't really much I could do to bring troops over, take out those zealots, and unfortunately they did change their religion back. Now, I believe for the time being, well, you know what? I was going to go into my religious mode, and I was going to change Parsh registers and possibly get something a little different. You know, having some production efficiency could be quite nice, or some reduced idea cost. Or, you know, even having something like global settler increase, that could be quite nice as well. Currently, we are at positive 65 every year, so much better than positive 20 about 2 decades ago. Our royal marriage has ended, unfortunately enough. Now, it looks like we still have some Sunni zealots and some Castilian particularists in a variety of provinces. I would like to pay off another one of my loans as soon as I can, send a royal marriage to Austria, repay one of our loans. We have gone from 2,000 ducats in debt to 939. As soon as I can, I would like to ask for another contribution in the year 1519. We currently have 3 colonists doing great work here. And I would like to go ahead and go into our trade map mode. It looks like we only have 29. We only have 29 trade power, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get some of these estuaries that you can see here, such as the Gold Coast, and, you know, I don't see anything else down in this area. Once I get the estuaries, I'll get more trade power, and of course, more trade power will mean our trade companies will perform much better. And we are making 7 ducats every single month. Very soon, our clergy loyalty will be at 40% in the next month, which will drastically improve our tax modifier, which should give us about 2 extra ducats every month. And of course, the nobility having high loyalty as well will possibly not make us have to pay as much land maintenance, though it really isn't that much for the time being. And we are moving closer and closer to unlocking improved maneuver under our defensive ideas. Our legitimacy is slowly improving. How is Portugal doing? Very, very close. I will go ahead and improve relations with Portugal once again. This should bring us up to 167 relations. If I give you 25 ducats, I'm going to have to take a prestige hit. If I grant you a gift, we should bring us up to about 182 improved relations, of course. So that is still not at 190, but we are getting closer and closer. Now it looks like the clergy finally like us again. We've moved from 7 ducats a month to 19, which doesn't make any sense. Not sure why it's that high, but I will take it. Our nobility is now improved as well. Now it's down to 12 income every month. The Bible has been translated. We are great news. Spread the Bibles far and wide. I am very happy with that. Spreading the Protestant faith. And we are slowly but surely making 12 ducats every month. I want to go ahead and pay off whatever loans we have left. And I would really like to possibly reduce the amount of inflation we have. And of course, we do have a master of mint, so he is working hard to do such a thing. And of course, if we look at our leader here, Alfonso the 12th, he is an expansionist, so that is quite nice. And you know what? I think I am gonna go into my religious map mode, take out Parsh registers, and get some global settler increased. Well, actually, you know what? Production could be quite nice. Or even if we're about to go in a war here, I believe on the 21st, having some extra discipline could be very nice as well. Okay, message for the faithful. One of the great strengths of having a state church is the ability to reach out to all the faithful in our country at once. A national day of prayer is coming up, and it is customary for the sermon this day to be partly dictated by the central state church. What should the sermon focus on during the years ahead? Monthly war exhaustion could be quite nice. Unjustified demands, missionary strength, tolerance of the faith, or we could gain some loyalty. And this will be for the next decade. Unjustified demands would be quite nice. I think my entire goal will be monthly war exhaustion. So that way, when I declare on France, it will be a lot easier to manage the war exhaustion. Though, of course, my entire goal here is to get improved maneuver, regimental system, and then, of course, the writers. So we are easily looking at about 600 military power. And our corruption is slowly going down. We are going to unfortunately lose some settlers. I don't want to lose any administrative power. And we still have 2 lazy diplomats. Let's improve our relations with England. We will improve our relations with Aragon, though not by much. And as soon as that happens, we should move on over to Portugal and hopefully begin our annexation. Positive 25 will move us up to 187. So, of course, on January 1st, we should be able to make our move. We are getting closer and closer to devout Catholicism, which should give us church power, which of course, if we go to our religious map mode, is this number that we see. And I really want to begin annexing Portugal very, very soon, or at least as fast as I can. Native assimilation in the Ivory Coast, gaining 100 population. That is very nice to see. Slowly making strides. Having some extra colonists would have been very nice. And we are gearing up for our war here in the next 4 years. Gaining 474 manpower every single month. Austria will certainly join us. England now is loyal. Aragon still disloyal, but that is understandable because we changed their religion. And very soon here, Portugal should... you know, yeah, I could go ahead and placate local rulers, and I might have to go ahead and do that. Taking a prestige hit, but of course we should be able to send them a gift. And the maximum we can get is positive 25, so we are going to send you 25 ducats, 188 as soon as we can. This should actually be loyal, not disloyal. And you can see here that we are going to improve relations. We are at 200, so there's really nothing we can do. On the 1st of January, we will begin our annexation because, you know, this negative aggressive expansion modifier will dissipate. Okay, we could either request money, administrative aid, diplomatic aid, military aid, or manpower, or take some prestige. Part of me would really like the administrative aid, but I'm not even sure Austria will help us out. Would be quite nice if they do. I will offer you a royal marriage. And as soon as we can, we will begin our annexation on the 7th of January. A helping hand. We have gained 25 administrative power. That was very nice of Austria. And we will begin annexing Portugal. I wonder how long this will take. April of 1519. So not too long. Maybe about a year or so. But man, that would be finally nice to not have to worry about that negative diplomatic relations penalty. I must have easily have lost about 800 diplomatic power, so I'm not really sure that was worth it. Yeah, it is what it is. You know, I made one mistake, and I certainly won't be doing that again. Disputed succession, Brittany of all nations. I would like to repay another loan as soon as we can. 313 ducats is what we need. I can't milk any estates just yet. We still have some Castilian particulars in Sierra Leone and the Ivory Coast. So both of these areas here should be converted very soon. And of course, we are going to repay our loan, and it looks like it had just renewed itself, which was very, very devastating. Scotland here inside Cape Verde. And we now have enough to repay at least one of our loans. So what's nice is, you know, every 5 years, we are going to have to renew one of those loans. So at the most, our inflation will go up by 0.2. But because we have a Master of Mint every 5 years, we should have a inflation reduction of 0.3. So now for the time being, we won't have to worry about the uprising of inflation. Now, I don't want to lose any nobility loyalty, but certainly for the next 20 years, I don't want to have yearly corruption. So I am going to have to get a loyalty tank, but at least we will get another base tax here in Toledo, bringing us up to 8 of all taxes, which is very, very nice to see. All right, so where do we stand? We have a lot of manpower, but we don't really have any troops. We're going to have to do everything in our power to get a stronger army. And as soon as I can, I'm going to improve relations with England, offer you a royal marriage, and unfortunately we cannot offer you a royal marriage because they are a subject of me. We are going to declare on France very, very soon. Now, it looks like one of their partners here, Scotland and Savoy, it looks like Brittany here broke off their alliance, surprisingly enough. And as soon as we annex Portugal, I will send this diplomat in to Austria and improve relations. What I really need more than anything is just money, and possibly having some power projection could be quite nice. It will give us some extra administrative power, diplomatic power, and military power, you know, further improving our ideas. Now, as I stated, I really don't want to go to war with France without having the improved cannons and the improved cavalry. So I am going to save up as soon as I can. January 1525, that's very surprising. I might have to go to war without their help, but that should be fine and that should be okay. And we are going to send one of our diplomats over to Austria, improve relations. And 31 years until we can begin our annexation of England. Integration is a slow process. We should now have this very small province, this very small colony as well. And of course we have their main capital of the Azores. Convert you to the true religion. And what's nice is we don't have that diplomatic relations penalty. But unfortunately, our diplomatic relations did sink because of our annexation. We have finally converted another province, Sassari here. 26 regiments. Oh my goodness. That could be quite devastating to deal with. So what I'll do is I will unmothball these troops. Improve our army maintenance as much as possible. And I don't believe Aragon will take them out, so we're going to have to do it ourselves. We have another colonist that is available. We are going to send you down here to the Gold Coast. And on the 1st of July, we will hopefully have some stronger transport ships that will be repaired. And we will send you down to Cagliari. These 4,000 troops will need to arrive soon as well. Now, what is nice is Cagliari here is a Highlands province. So, of course, we will actually be the defender, which will be quite nice. Though I really don't want to lose too much manpower, that will be fine, at least for the time being. Our military power is slowly improving, which is quite nice. And as soon as I can, I might even request ourselves a general, though I don't want to see our influence rise drastically. Now, it looks like Aragon here has some troops. We are going to go ahead, begin the assault. It says we're going to get a -1 crossing penalty, but that doesn't make sense. Yep. Now, of course, we should gain a small amount of prestige. And not having to deal with these Catholic zealots could be quite nice. Easy enough. We'll send these troops back to Mercia. Reduce the army maintenance to about, let's do 10%. And it looks like we lost 6,000 troops, at least in that small skirmish. And as soon as we can, it looks like we have 4 colonies, which of course is costing me a little bit extra. Hopefully the Ivory Coast will be complete very soon, and with anything, it should be at least 1 more year. Poor harvest, losing 50 diplomatic power. Very unfortunate. All of my troops have returned. I would say safe and sound, but that really isn't the truth. We did lose 6,000 men. Though as soon as I can, I will go ahead, split this army in half. Ooh, anti-clericalism. We'd gain some loyalty. The burghers would hate us. I think I am going to take the ducats. The clergy will have quite a high amount of influence, but that is fine for the time being. Is Lisboa, it says they removed the autonomy here, but it says the burghers here are still in power, which is very nice to see. And with all of our extra income, I will go ahead split this army in half. And I would like to get, you know, two powerful militaries. Possibly 4 units of cavalry in each. Possibly like an 8-4-4. and maybe like an 846. And fortunately, we need about 60 more ducats. And as soon as we can, we are going to declare war on France. Though I would really like to get some additional ducats. And you know what? I might even go ahead and cancel 2 of those cannons. And the reasoning behind that is we are already losing money. My entire goal is to improve our army maintenance, but, you know, at what cost? I'm going to have Aragon here, even though they are disloyal. Yeah, I could tank my prestige. I don't really want to do that. But hopefully here, Aragon should be able to help out very soon. The accommodation with natives in the Ivory Coast, they have lost 1 ferocity. Now, as soon as I improve my army maintenance here, this is going to be quite devastating. Now, of course, I am number 1 in the Great Powers. That is very nice to see. I would like to stomp on France once again, and I'm going to try to do everything in my power to make that happen. Now, very soon, our colonists in the Ivory Coast should be finished. I don't want to lose. I'm going to have to take the prestige hit once again. Very unfortunate. Now, our truce should end in February of 1521, and if everything goes according to plan, which it should, as soon as February comes, we are going to declare war. A royal marriage with Austria, what I love to see. We are going to try to improve relations with a variety of countries. Telemankin here, slowly but surely making progress. We have an extra diplomat, not sure where I will send you. Possibly to Burgundy. Now, it looks like Burgundy is in a war with Provence, Savoy, and Austria. Now, obviously, Austria, this was very unfortunate. I was hoping Burgundy and Austria would join me against France. Not too sure exactly what I'm going to do just yet. In the meantime, our income is still rising. Our manpower is still rising, though I do expect this to be a very bloody battle. As soon as the Ivory Coast finishes up, I would like to go ahead and convert you to the correct religion, Protestantism. Though I do expect to see some uprisings here. Gold Coast, Sierra Leone, and Bifadat. The Ivory Coast could become a... now, I see if I create a trade company, the missionary strength would go down. I don't want that. Is it possible to improve autonomy while they are colonizing? It doesn't look like it, which is a little unsettling. I might have to send some troops down to take out these very small rebels. But of course, if I had more legitimacy, I wouldn't have to worry about that either. The 1st of January is very, very soon. I am going to go ahead and end this episode here. As always, thank you so much for joining me. I will see you in our next adventure.